Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this month's Coach's Call. I hope everyone's doing okay, and you guys all had a great Valentine's Day. And I might as well say Happy President's Day, too, because that's tomorrow. So for those of you who are joining, thanks so much for joining. I greatly appreciate your time and spending your time with me. So let's start off again by talking about what I think the most important part of coaching is, and that's fundamentals. Last week, I got to spend some time at one of my favorite judo clubs in Ohio. It's called Chutubu, and it's a great judo club run by Sensei Paul Jordan, who does a phenomenal job. And he's got quite a few students, and I had what he called was a little bit light session, but I had 80 kids between 4 and 12, with the bulk of them between 4 and 10. Great time, great kids. We had a wonderful time. But the point I want to stress is that the time I spent there, and again, I had quite a few 4-year-olds too. The whole time there was doing drills, talking about basic judo fundamentals, drills for fundamentals, exercises for fundamentals, and all things that build your judo foundation. And I can't explain to you how important it is and how easy it is to teach athletes, students that do have those basic fundamentals. And I'm talking about posture, position, knowing how to hold a judo gi correctly, so you know how to pull. Understanding that when someone is pulling you backwards, if you're going to attack backwards, you do not lunge forward. You maintain that resistance, so they continue to lean back when you throw them backwards. Just like when they're leaning forward, you hold that resistance until you attack forward, and you find how you get to use your opponent's weight to your advantage. Now, it's easy to explain to an adult, and it's hard to do for an adult. It's hard to explain to a kid, but it's easy to teach to a kid. Kids are just softer as far as their body, and they fit into positions much easier than adults do. You know, for those of you that start people in judo that are over 25, you see that the bulk of the people, if they've never been on a mats before, they're stiff. People are stiff. When they fall, they're stiff. Learning how to relax when you fall when you're older is very difficult. Learning it when you're young is important, and it makes a massive difference. So all those fundamentals being taught at a young age is so important, so important. And whether you're doing a osoto, ouchigari, the ashibarai, seyanagi, all those things, bending your knees with your back straight, the correct kazushi, how to lift with your knees and turn your shoulders, turn your head, posture, always posture, all those things that are so important in learning judo, is something that I always concentrate on when I'm working with young kids. I work with several senseis who run dojos. Some have run dojos for a period of time, and some just started out. And for me, it's all the same. We work on the culture, and that's revolved around respect, discipline, humility, work ethic, all those things that separate judo from other sports. Not that you don't need them in other sports, but in other sports, they are not part necessarily of the culture like it is of judo. So what you want to do is you want to stress that culture. I'm not saying every judo club has to do that. You can run your judo club the way you want. But if I am going to sell a parent on why their kid should do judo and maybe not wrestle, or do judo and not play baseball, and I think they should play all sports, but why judo needs to be a part of their group of athletics is because you're going to learn something different in judo, and you're going to learn that way of being a better person, a better citizen, because you will learn humility, you'll learn respect, you'll learn to look after your partners. Being a good partner in judo is critical. It's critical. It's an important learning process when you come into judo. Most partners standing there just waiting for times to pass and they're not engaged. We need to teach our people to be engaged when they're partners so they can be good partners and they can have good partners. All those fundamentals that make you learn what it is to be a better citizen and preparing you for life's lessons is what you learn in judo. So when I talk to a parent, and when I have in the past, and when I talk to coaches, why judo? And this is the reason why judo. I mean, people can wrestle. There's wrestling clubs all over. There's jujitsu clubs all over. You can play soccer. You can play baseball, football, basketball. Why judo? And that's the reason why judo. Now, not only is your kid going to be learning these life skills, which are important, that every minute, every second, every minute, every 10 minutes, every half hour, every 2 hours they're on the mats, their face isn't in a screen. They're not attached to this phone, this tablet, watch, whatever your kid happens to have, where they're so addicted to, they come on the mats, all that's put aside. And now it's time for them to learn. Okay? And what are they learning? They're learning basic fundamentals, no different than when you're learning math or any other type of skill. I do always ask people, and I recommend go to American Judo, take a look at the letters that I wrote. They're not long, they're 3 to 4 paragraphs. I start at day one of judo, go all the way up to 2 years. There's quite a few of them, and it maps out your path through judo from as a coach, as an athlete, and as a parent. I talk about the drive home from judo as a parent, all sorts of things that I go over. And for those of you who don't have access, can't find it, send me an email at steve@americanjudo.com and I'll make sure you get it. It's again, it's not long, but it does break it down, and it is the lessons that I think you need to learn. If you want to go further on those lessons, I'm happy to talk to you. Most people that email me, I do talk to. I get on the phone and I talk to them to make sure I can answer all their questions. But if you want to be a better teacher, if you want to build your club, whether it's a non-for-profit or it's for-profit, you need to talk to your clients. And the clients aren't the kids, the clients are the parents, and explain to the parents why judo is important in their kids' lives and what it's going to do for them. And, I got an email three weeks ago from a student I had in the 1970s who had a very, very successful career, very successful. That person's retired now. And he wrote me this long email about what judo taught him in our program and how it taught him to prepare him for life and to be a better person and a better citizen and prepare him for life's lessons, which prepared him to be a success in life. And I don't get those letters all the time, but I do get them, a handful of times, and it's never, I never get tired of them. And of course, for me, I reached out and talked to this former student that I had since he's 4 years old, and we ended up having dinner together with his brother, and his brother was a student too, and it was a wonderful, wonderful event for me and them. And we talked like high school kids for about 5 hours, just about remembering the old times and what we did and how we trained. That's the legacy of judo. You guys are judo coaches. That's the legacy. The legacy isn't today or tomorrow. It's 10 years from now when your student moves on, 20 years from now. In my case, it's 40 years from now that someone's reaching out to me, telling me that as they're retired in the part of their life where they've stopped working, they can reach out and say, listen, I heard you on a podcast talking, and it just came to me, again, the importance of what I learned and how it prepared me and how I used all the things I learned in my beginning judo classes in life and how it made me a better person. So like I said, that's the goal in judo. That's my goal always. We want to create better citizens. We want kids to leave judo better, better people. That's going to reach an arm out to help someone who needs help. That's going to open a door for someone when they need a door opened. That's going to be humble when things go their way. The humility of success, so you understand and you're grateful always. And in defeat, you have character enough to say, okay, what do I need to do to get better? In judo, one of the things that judo teaches you is how to lose. It teaches you how to lose, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing to learn how to lose. Because when you lose, what do? You got to get back on your feet, work harder, get better. Okay? And sometimes you get better in days, sometimes you get better in years, you know. But as we judge getting better, we're not only judging at the judo club, mostly we're judging on the competition mats. Now, I don't recommend that every judo club compete. I actually don't care. Teaching the skill of judo and all the things that go with it doesn't have to include competing. But judo is a competition sport. And how we deal with losing, and I love in judo that you bow and you step forward and you shake hands. And if you're crying because you lost, you're crying. That's okay. Be a good sport. It teaches you to learn how to lose, come back stronger. And even if you lose again, you come back stronger. And it makes you better. It prepares you for the competition in life. And it's happened to me, and it happens to people all the time who go through that type of judo class. So I highly recommend the teaching judo in a way that you bring that culture there, that kids learn how to line up correctly, bow in correctly. They know to be quiet during the class. They can pay attention. When they're working hard. Now, again, you as the sensei have got to instill that in people. You can't be on your phone looking at your phone. You have to be instilling that, watching your students. If you have a big club, you need to get help. You need to bring helpers in, train them so they understand how you want them to do, instill that in your students. And then the parents feel that value, a value they're not going to get in other sports that they compete in. Now, like I said, I think it's important that kids compete in all sports. I think it's great when you're 7 and 8 years old that you play baseball, you play soccer, you play football, you play basketball, but you play judo too. Judo is going to help you with the other sports, and the other sports is going to help you in judo. Different skill sets, different muscles, different movements. It will help you, no question. It will help you. So it's good. I don't get stuck into this thing that I'm a judo player. I'm only going to do judo when I'm young. Continue to do judo, but find time to play baseball too if you want. Baseball is a wonderful game. You'll have a great time. It's different. It's a team sport. You'll enjoy it. Football is the same way. So is basketball. You'll learn different skills there that will help your judo. And all the experts will tell you that the kids that come out to be better athletes when they're older are kids that played all sports when they were younger. So it's good to do. It's really good to do. So I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But this last weekend we had one of the toughest, if not the toughest, tournament in the world go on, and that's it's the Paris Grand Slam. This has been continually the hardest tournament to win, and normally there's a path that if you win the Paris Grand Slam, you're going to be on the podium in the Worlds and the Olympics. It's rare that doesn't happen. Now, I haven't done a real deep dive into it, but from the outside looking in, I rarely see people on the podium in Paris that aren't on the podium in the Worlds and the Olympics. It's just the way it is because it's so hard. It's so hard. The depth of the French judo is quite deep. similar to Japan. But the French Grand Slam is a bigger tournament than the Tokyo Grand Slam. Now maybe that changes, and that would be great, but it is a much bigger tournament, and it's amazing when you see, and you'll see it in the videos that I show you. The stands are packed. I mean, it is a packed arena. Every single kid, 10-year-old, 9-year-old, has a pool sheet in their hands, and they're keeping score. They're watching. They know the players. They're watching them come up. It's the first time I saw this many years ago. It just shocked me how people knew the judo athletes. In America, we go to a tournament, and the people in the stands are parents. We don't have judo fans coming to our tournaments. In Paris, there's judo fans. They know the players. They follow judo. And of course, now it's so much easier to follow judo with the Judo TV. The IJF continuously has competitions that if you're a member, you could watch. And of course, if you're a member of Instagram and Facebook, you're seeing videos of different people. I like watching highlight videos too, but I do like watching full matches so you can watch how, the momentums change. I find that when I work with athletes, not only young athletes, they don't look at judo as a game where you could see, whether it's football or baseball or basketball, that a team could be down and something good happens, and all of a sudden the tide changes and they start getting on a run, and all of a sudden they're down. A basketball team's down 30 points, and 10 minutes later they're winning the game. A football team in the fourth quarter is down 3 touchdowns. They end up winning the game. A baseball team, is down 8 runs. They have a big inning. That's momentum. Judo's the same way. So you get to see the changes of momentums, and you see things happen in a match. That is, if you understand it, it's quite interesting. And if you're going to teach judo and think you're going to teach at a high level, it's something that you're going to have to understand. Again, you're not teaching 5 and 6-year-olds this, but when these kids start getting into cadet level, you want to start teaching them a little more, of the game of judo. I start teaching it at an earlier age, and it's important. It's no different than baseball. Kids signs up for baseball. They don't know how to hold the bat. They don't know what to do when they hit the ball. They don't know where to throw the ball when it comes to them. All that has to be taught, and then the situations, the variables. There's a man on first, 1 out. What do you do? All those things that happen in the game has to be taught. Now, for the Americans that play baseball, they could turn a game on anytime, any day, and they could watch baseball. And there's someone telling you what's happened, or someone else telling you why it's happening and how it's happening. And you get to learn, and you can watch learning videos. Today in judo, you have Judo TV. You can watch all sorts of videos. I'd be careful which ones you choose, but there are videos to watch where you can actually follow judo. Neil Adams does a tremendous job of talking about the matches during the matches as he's commentating. Love listening to Neil. He does a great job. And when he starts talking about, action and reaction and all sorts of things like that, it's very knowledgeable discussions that you get from him that you could learn from. So hopefully you're able to, watch videos listening to Neil's commentary, because you'll learn from that. He does a wonderful job. Obviously, he knows judo very well, and he does a great job. So I recommend that highly. Hello from Brazil. I hope you understand English so you can hear me and understand me. Thanks for joining. So it's important. And as I tell the story all the time. When I was an Olympic coach, we were training in Japan, and we're doing 2-a-days. And for those of you that haven't trained in Japan, you can only do 2-a-days for so long. You need to rest your body. And on a day of rest, I chose to go to a junior club and or a high school practice, and I watched the class. I always want to learn. I always want to see what other people are doing. Uh, Being a better coach always means you continue to learn. Thinking that you know it all, I don't care what level you are, is a recipe for failure. You always want to keep learning. Pick people's brains. Don't feel that you can't learn something from someone who's not at your level. You certainly can. Watch the way people do drills. Watch what they're doing. Maybe you learn a new game, a new drill, something you see that you could add to your own program. Okay. Never feel that, listen, I'm too big or I'm too good or I don't want to go because for whatever reason. Have an open mind, welcome people into your club and people welcome you into their club. Go ahead and watch and learn, and never be embarrassed about learning from someone that's a lower rank than you that thinks of a game or a drill that they're doing that you say, hey, I want to use that. If ever you get to my letters, you'll find out that I say that I want, coaches that coach beginning judo to be creative. Do something. The people I work with always say, listen, I had this idea. What do you think? Great. That's a great. Let's find a way to make your new idea work. Let's try something different. Maybe the kids will like it. I'll try it too. I mean, it's good to be creative. Find new ways to make kids have fun at judo. Whenever I tell people to run a judo program, a class, I always tell them to end a class with a game. No matter how hard the class is, when you end with a game, people leave happy. They want to come back. So make judo fun for the kids. I mean, these kids aren't training, they're learning fundamentals. So play a game that's a fundamental that's fun. And there's lots of games to do that. And again, that's another discussion for another day, but we certainly can talk about that. And as I continue to tell everyone, if you have a certain topic you want to cover on these calls, send me an email and I'm happy to look into it and see if I could fit it in. On my members' calls, I do take one technique and I show many different styles that do that technique and go over it and break them down. So that's an educational call also. Okay, guys, I've talked enough. Let's see if we can find some videos that we can watch. This is all from Paris. Let me start. I have, so I don't want anyone to think of this as a negative. The Paris Grand Slam is the hardest tournament in the world. When I went there as a coach, I took one athlete with me. I took Jimmy Pedro with me. It's very, very difficult. It's hard. And I know everyone wants to fight in the Paris Grand Slam, but it is at a level that if you're not at that level, if you're not placing in Grand Prix top 5, you really, the Paris Grand Slam is going to be a little rough for you. So I'm going to show you, and this is with no disrespect to any Americans. I love these kids train hard. They work hard. They have a future. But some of these kids stepped into the arena that I would say, let's be at the level below and work our way up before we jump into this. And I'm not being critical. I'm just letting you know that it's a challenge. So one of our young 60-kilo players here, who I love this kid. He trains hard, great kid. And again, but here he is fighting. Let me see, how do I start this? Let's see if I can start it here. Why can't I get this started here? Okay, we're not working. Can I move this over here? Can I move this higher? I can't. Let's try this. I wonder why I can't start this. Okay, guys, bear with me. I don't know why I couldn't start that video unless it has to do with let's go here. Let's try this. I'll try this one more time. If not, I have other access to the videos. Share window here. Share. If I do this, what happens? Oh, can I do this? Here we go. Let's try this again. I'll try this. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We got an operator error here. I wonder why it won't play. Never had that problem before. All right. That is bizarre. This never happened to me before. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Just bear with me again. Let me see. I'll try a different video because I took that from someplace else. Okay. I have a explanation why it may not show. Let me try this. Wow, why? Interesting why I can't show. All right, I have to go to the old way of doing it, guys. I'm sorry. So here we go. We're watching a drop Tayo here. Uh, just this is Japan, Tajima. God, why wouldn't let me do that? Okay, hang in there. So this is so we're looking at a semifinal match here. Uh, Having a French in the semifinals is not unusual. They have a Frenchman in each quadrant. Each quadrant. There's no way you're making it to the end without fighting. If you're going to win, if you're going to win a gold medal, you have to beat at least two Frenchmen, if not three. When Jimmy won the gold, he had to beat three. It's just not that easy. So here, let's watch this again. And again, the semifinals, there's France, there's Japan, and it's Japanese off the grip. Just drop Tayo. Not my favorite throw, but certainly this looks good. Nice for an Ippon. Beautiful. Beautiful drop Tayo. Like I said, that's not my favorite throw, but it certainly looked good. Let's go to the next one. Okay, let me get, if I can move this. Can I move this? I can't move this out of the way. Where am I at here? Okay, let's see how we can watch this here. Oh, this is Ari Berliner, an American here, trying to go behind a Italian player. It's just not a good idea to go behind uh, the strength of an athlete. It's just not a good idea. So here you're going to see Ari, who did a real good job here, but here he is. He's going to try to go behind him, and these guys are just so strong, so strong. Just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't even know if I could explain how strong these guys are. I wonder what happens when I do this. Can I? All right, guys. Here we are. Here. Okay. This is th- again. Just look how strong you just cannot bend. Look at the posture here. You cannot get him. That's these guys. These guys are so strong. The Japanese players, everyone is just so strong. Look at the Russian trying to take him back. Look, just can't get him. Can't get him. Look at that, how he's able to lift his foot and remove his foot. Let's watch that one more time. Watch how he's able to remove his foot from the kochi. Russia gets a high grip and he's hitting that kochi. And look how he lifts his foot out, throws him backwards. Okay. So here we are. I mean, uh, God, we're looking at some really, really strong players. Okay, where are we at here? This is just a really nice Osotagashi. Look at this. It's just really nice. One of the things that, I tell because you have to keep your upper body strong when someone does, Osoto, you got to keep your body strong. Do not let him bend your body. Keep your legs. See how strong the leg is? You can't lift your leg. You can't move your leg. Watch how powerful White is. Look how he holds that and just reverses that. That's just a great Osotagashi. Uh, and I teach that throw at a very early age. I just love this. Hold it. Nice, nice counter, Skashi. Nice. Look how he holds that. Beautiful, beautiful turn. That's picture book. I love Osotagashi. I teach my kids that throw in the first couple months of judo. I teach them how to turn their hips, relax and turn their hips. It's a great throw to teach at a young age for a lot of reasons. Here is something that I I really really like shifting weight from one side of the body to the other. So watch how this young girl Tori does this aside and then back to the it's Ashigaruma. I don't know what she wanted it to be, but she just comes across. She takes the girl. We'll watch it again here. Watch how we're going to watch her. She's going to take the girl. Look how she takes her to her left. Okay, it's her left, and then they shift. The weight shifts. Look to the left. Look how the body changes. Watch the upper body again as she shifts her that way. Look how she turns forward. That's the reaction to the Sasai, As she takes her to the left, she overcompensates back to the right, and then she just comes in the Ashiguruma. It's just it's picture book classic judo. Shift the weight to the left, the recovery, and then to the right. Just really nice judo here. I love doing this. And I mean, that's how you set up your throws. As you know, and if you watched me, Ashiwaza, to set up your techniques always. Uh, I just, you know, it it's necessary. Just necessary. Okay, let's see what else I got here before we start. Let's watch our so this is a good match. Japanese world champion. World champion. Now that's a Wazari. They changed that to a Wazari. Young Israeli kid is losing to Yukos. Bam. Wins the match. What a big win for the young kid. Watch that again from the other side. Look. Look at that. I believe he's Olympic champion too. That's a big win for a young Israeli kid. 60 kilos. Big win. Big win for him. Well, I love seeing that. Love seeing young kid. Look there. Yuko against him. Keeps coming hard. Going after him. Look at this. Now Wazari against him. Still coming hard. And look at this. Ippon. Wow. How cool was that? Here it is again from the other side. Look at this. Bam. What a big win. I think he took a bronze medal. Young Israeli kid. God, it's I love seeing young kids coming up. I don't know how old he is. I have to look, but I love seeing young kids coming up. And you see these older guys you see the red on his back. I think that's Olympic champion. I'd have to double check. I think it is. But man, I mean, you start seeing these young kids coming up and start beating the top guys in the world. It's great to see. And look how he just never stops coming. Comes hard, countered, gets up, keeps fighting hard, goes after him. Again, bam, still fighting. Now he comes around, gets him. God, that's just great. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh, God. Look, I love seeing that. There's a young British kid that did great too there too. Just love seeing that. Love seeing that. So just a simple counter, Kosoto, the counter with Ouchigari. Look how he changes that direction. Changes that direction. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's you see how I mean the French guy. He moved his back. Look, he had to recover from that. I can't tell you how strong your core has to be able to do that. I mean, you need such a strong core. Watch this again. Look how he stops that and goes in the other direction. There's only so much strength you can get from lifting weights. I don't care what kind of strength exercises you do. There's only so much strength you're going to get. The strength you need is from doing judo. You have to do judo. A lot of judo. You got to fight strong people, fast people, big people, short. You got to fight everybody. And that's how you get strong in judo. There is something that we call judo strength that's important. And you get that from doing judo. All right, I'm sorry. I got a duplicate here. You'll forgive me. I like that video so much. I must have put a duplicate in here. Just nice. Sode. Brazil, look at this. Just nice turn. Classic Sode, beautifully pwn. No questions. No questions. Just look at him come right in. God, are they strong? Look at that posture. Look at that posture as he lifts. God, just gotta love that. Look at his posture. I love watching this. Coming in. Look at that as he lifts with his legs over. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Doesn't get much better than that, guys. That's just really, really good judo. Really good judo. Is this a duplicate? Oh, nice. I love. So I really like this move. Okay, so this is so I love the Uchimata back to the Kouchi. I really love that move. I used to do that, and there is a shift of weight that you have a feel for that when you come back and hit that supporting leg, that it works. And it doesn't only have to be a Chimata. You can come in and just kind of like chop the leg a little bit, hit the leg a little bit, and come back for the Kouchi too. Hit the opposite leg. But I love this coming out of Uchimata into the Kouchi. That's a great move. I love watching it. Look at that. Hit that leg. Nice, nice move. And then the Ouchi, which we saw. Very nice move. A French Osoto, just a power Osoto, just a power Osoto. Here we are. Look at the French just power him over with that Osoto. Nice, nice, nice. Watch come get that leg bang. Cross grip. Come across. Look at that down. Nice job. Nice Osoto. Just a nice Osoto. Really good. Where am I at here? Oh, okay. So one of the things that, as I teach more elite athletes, Osoto and Uchimata go together. They just go together. It's as you watch him as he does this really nice reach. I lost it already. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can get it. All right, so we'll let you watch the reach. Okay, there's. Okay, we'll watch it again. I can't slow it down. I'm sorry. Watch the reach with that. Look at that. Look at that reach to that hook. Look how he opens those hips up. Look how he opens the hips up. Look at that. Now going behind, a guy's power leg is not something I recommend. We saw it earlier with Ari doing it. Going behind the power leg is not what I recommend because people do Uchimata. that is nice. Look at that reach for the hook. He stays with it, stays with it. Nice. Osoto and Uchimata, great combination. Which one did I want to show you? Let me see if I could. Hold on. Which one is this? Oh, this is Bob. This is Sasai. Oh man, that's amazing. Okay, I got to stop here. I threw that in. I threw that in by accident. That's going to be for our members call. We'll go over Sasai in detail. And Balba, if I'm going over Sasai, I'm showing Balba. For me, it started at a much earlier age, but Darcel Yanzi does a phenomenal Sasai. There's not a lot of videos of him doing it in competition because the way he does it is difficult to do, difficult to teach. The way he forces that, we'll go over that in the members call. So here we're going to watch just Osoto again, sticking with the Osoto. That should have been Ippon. I don't know if they called it Ippon, but look how he just stays with that Osoto. Look at the follow through too. Judo doesn't end when at any. You've got to follow through when you do judo. Must follow through. Let's see what this one is. We just saw this one. Oh, this is Lombardo, who great judo player, but I don't know if it's if he's getting a little older. It's just a great judo player. But these guys from Azerbaijan are so good, so strong. Look at that. It's power Osoto, guys. Just a power Osoto. Look. That's a few different Osotos. All right. That's more than that. I got here. Got this. All right, you're going to bear with me. I'm going to see if I could do one video I wanted to show you that I didn't upload on this platform because I thought for sure I could share the screen. Let me see what I can do here, if I can grab it, because it's something I thought was cool, different. I don't know why it won't play. Jesus, do I have it play here? Nothing. Don't understand why I can't play it. All right, this is an interesting video that I didn't upload. You know something? Hold on a second. I bet I could add it now. Hang with me. I'm going to see if I could add it now. Okay. Oh, I got this here. Okay. So here, this is interesting. This happened in Paris. Watch watch what happens. So the Italian guy, they're fighting. There's an attack, not a good attack, and he just walks back and doesn't pay attention. The referee never calls mate. The referee never calls mate. Maybe you heard it on another mat. I don't know. It's certainly a huge error. And look. That is just crazy. That is just crazy. Watch this again. What an error, mental error. God, look at that. Oh man. I'm sure there's a story behind that one. I'd like to hear it. But look at that. One more time. You don't see that a lot. Boy, you just don't see that a lot. Wow. So there's some fun videos from Paris. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, any questions for me, anything about, American Judo, if you guys have the coaches course, if you want to ask a question about your judo club, there's my email address, stevenamericanjudo.com. Feel free to email me anytime. If there's a topic you want to discuss, feel free to email me anytime. I'm happy to talk to you. Hope you guys enjoyed this hour. And please join me for the members call, which is next week, I believe. Again, if you don't have the dates, shoot me an email. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend.